Hello, and welcome back to the Spoiler Cast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. First of all, just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to the show. I hope you're enjoying it. I mean, if it's not the first time you're watching it, then I hope you're gonna enjoy it. If you want more shows, of course, subscribe or follow wherever you're listening and watching this. But also check out patreon.com/don'tmakeascene for literally hundreds of additional episodes. But enough of that. We gotta get into the episode here, because today we are talking about it's 2023, but I think it's 2024, like, in general, I think.
Isn't it a 2023 Oscar nomination even?
What?
Wasn't it?
No,
or am I
it has to be nominated for this Oscar in that case, because it came out in 2023 in Japan. Either way, we're talking about Monster. No? Not the 2001 Charlize Theron biopic. It's the new movie from Kore-eda Hirokazu, director of Broker and Shoplifters, probably the one those people know about. It's a story about troubled youths from different perspectives.
Yeah.
That's really that's the easiest way to explain it.
Yes. The blurbs on all the websites are kind of misleading because it only describes like the first third of the movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. A mother demands answers from teacher when her son begins acting strangely. Yeah. That is really just the first 40 minutes of a 2-hour movie.
And it doesn't touch on anything of what the movie's actually about.
I mean, we the big mystery is why is Minato acting the way he is. Minato is the son who begins acting strangely. At first, start from the beginning.
Yes.
This was you saw the trailer for this and suggested it?
I didn't even see the trailer. I saw the poster and went, I want to see that.
Okay.
For some reason. I don't even remember which poster I saw. I just saw a poster and went, we should watch that.
And, we both watched the trailer and realized, Sakura Ando stars. And we had recently become big fans of her from her performance in Godzilla -1. So, yeah. And all of a sudden it just popped up so we could watch it. So, yeah, that's why we're talking about it. Did you have any previous knowledge of this director?
Not really. I looked up trailers for 2 of his previous movies. Wait, I'm on the wrong. For Shoplifters, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which the other one was, actually.
Broker.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just because Shoplifters was his big, Western mainstream breakthrough, and then the follow-up to that, so to speak, was Broker. So this is his third big movie. That's why.
No, I think I watched the trailer for Like Father, Like Son.
Okay, I don't know.
An older.
But you haven't watched any of his other movies?
No,
me neither. I was going to watch Broker. It was one of those movies I wanted to go see. I know our mom wanted to go see it, but then it just never happened. So I've never seen any of his movies. I'm just vaguely familiar with the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a first for both of us. And I'm going to ask you then, what did you think of Monster?
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was very well made. The writing was so well made because you went through the entire thing going, what the heck is actually happening? And every time you saw it from a different perspective and new information was released, you're like, but which one is real? I love that part. I love the acting, all of them.
Yeah.
I was completely, because I usually have the issue of when I watch a movie, I do something else while I watch.
Yeah.
I especially though try to avoid it when it's in a language I don't understand. Japanese being one of them, obviously. So I deliberately didn't have anything to do. I put my phone away and all that stuff, but I didn't. Even if I had something in front of me, I was 100% engulfed by the movie. It, from like minute one, straight away I couldn't be distracted. I even considered for a second, like, I need to pause to go to the bathroom. No, I'm gonna finish the movie. I can hold it. Because there was that captivating? Is that the word I'm looking for? I think so.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, both visually and the sound and the story and everything. Wonderful.
Well.
What did you think?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I really liked it too. I saw some critics mentioning this. I had a little hard time following along, to be honest. Especially the first part of the story, which is all about the mom. What's her name? Saudi. Yes. Because it feels like her part is the one where the least information is given.
Yes.
But it's basically the whole story up until the flash flood or the mudslide.
Yeah.
Spoilers: the movie ends in a mudslide. Sort of. But that's just part of it.
It's a weather phenomenon that just happens. Yeah. It's not really symbolic or anything.
No, it's a climactic storm, Classic. Yeah. So I was like, we were given so little information, and I didn't know it was going to be from different perspectives. Especially since, the trailer's really all about the mom's story. And like I said, the blurb on IMDb is: a mother demands answers when her son begins acting strangely. So I was like, wait, we're getting so little information, and then it just cuts to black. When she sees the note where it says monster. I was like, what? What was going on?
Letterboxd does it better, because the last sentence on Letterboxd is, but as the story unfolds through the eyes of the mother, teacher, and child, the truth gradually emerges. Yeah. So it helps. You need that final sentence, really, to understand what that the movie is going to have more.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be a bit confusing when you see the first part.
Yeah, I think so too, because we don't have the whole story, because these characters don't have the whole story.
Exactly. Much like her, she's only seeing it from what little information she gets from her son.
Which is not a lot.
Which is not a lot. And then, of course, mother's worry and like assumptions because of it.
Yeah.
And then the way she feels like everyone is reacting to her.
Yeah. But ultimately, I think when all is said and done, when it finishes up, I did really like it. I don't know if it was like the greatest movie ever, because like I said, I was a little bit lost my immersion here and there. But yeah, it's well written. I loved what little music there is. I loved the music, especially the chapter ending just brass horns, which we find out what they are later. They're actually, what's it called? Diegetic music, like it's in the movie. I love that, because every time a new chapter 10 was like very like doomsday. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yes, they were very, very ominous, but they, I don't know,
that was cool.
They fit very well as well.
Yeah, but then there were things that I didn't think was necessary. Like, without spoiling anything, we won't get into spoilers yet. The little side plot of the headmistress of the school.
Yeah.
It fills a purpose later, but I don't know.
The only thing I'd say that does is explain why she seems so distant and why she doesn't seem to react.
I guess.
But it's a bit heavy for to be such a small detail.
Yeah.
Especially since there's a twist within it as well, kind of, that we're not entirely sure of. And
then also, I don't know how much more I can say without discussing specific things, spoilery things.
I can tell you something.
Yeah, sure.
Which is going to upset you a little bit.
Okay.
If you've seen or heard any of our previous episodes or recent episodes about Brokeback Mountain, you famously cry to that movie.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
This one almost made me cry. Towards the end, I was like, oh no, wait, what happened?
Well, okay, I can tell you this did not affect me that way. It was way too. It's way too. We've discussed a little bit. We discussed it in the last episode when we discussed Dream Scenario. The modern movies, like, they try too hard almost.
Yeah.
We discussed specifically A24 and their fantastical stories that are really just pretty simple stories.
Yeah.
This also, it's honestly a pretty simple story, but they have this like this cutting it up, and it's almost it's like a Christopher Nolan movie. It goes back in time. We see it from different angles and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, that's cool, but how about you just focus on the heart of the story?
Yeah, but that's the thing with this movie. The heart of the story is to see the same scenario, the same happenings from different perspective, and how different they play out in people's heads from your own perspective. You have the mother that is obviously a little not overprotective, but it's her only child. She lost her husband. Yeah. She's protective, and if anything goes wrong, especially if she comes home and seems to be injured, she's gonna worry and think the worst.
Sure.
The teacher, who from his own perspective is like such a good person, he does everything he can to make everyone happy, to help his students, to be friendly towards them in a good way.
Yeah.
But then get accused, and then the children who are not old enough to fully understand, first of all, the repercussions of things they say.
No.
And certain aspects of what other people say too, what adults tell them. They can't really understand what's real and not, and why they would say such things.
Yeah.
Like the whole pig brain thing. Like, they don't understand that fully.
That's so specific, though. I don't know.
But that might be
I'm feeling there's something lost in translation there.
Yeah, I think that might
pig
be
brain.
like not a saying, but it's something you tell children or something.
Yeah.
In Japan. I'm not entirely sure.
No, but like I said,
so I think it worked perfectly well. It just that you walk into it not knowing that that's what you're gonna get is a little bit confusing. But once you figure that one out, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Sure. So yeah. I think we're gonna get into spoilers here now. Yeah. So before we get into spoilers, I'd give it like I said, I liked it. I think I have to rewatch it because honestly, I was struggling. Like always, I'm off work today, so I watched it in bed. So
not a good choice.
No, not a good choice. Even though I had like full night of sleep, I had a hearty breakfast, but not too much, but like so I have energy, and then I had no distractions, only water, and like 15 minutes in, I was like,
too comfortable. That's the thing.
Well, it started rewinding.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, that's especially since it's so fragmented in the beginning. I was like, "Wait, did I miss anything?" So I rewinded like 10 seconds. No, okay, I didn't miss anything. That was so weird. So yeah, partly my fault. I should rewatch it. But I'll still say very well made movie. Yes. Good performance from Sakura Ando. She was better in Godzilla -1, I think.
Sure. But it's a more interesting and I guess nuanced character in Godzilla as well.
Yeah, which is so funny to say.
This one is a little bit one note.
This is a big. I mean, they say it's a master class. It has an 81 Metascore. It's drama, from
sure.
And then but she gave a better, more nuanced and complex performance in a fucking monster movie.
But it's because her character has more of a development in that movie. She goes from being, the angry and grieving woman to basically falling in love with this little family. Yeah. In this one, she is simply a mother worrying about her son, and she is that throughout the entire movie.
It's also something that irks me also a little bit with some movies, not just modern movies, but certain kind of movies where, well, I know what it is. It's when you have a movie like this, which feels like it should be character driven, but because they've turned into mystery, it's sort of story driven.
Yes.
Or plot driven. So the characters don't have enough room to really be fleshed out.
No.
It's more focused on we gotta obfuscate certain details because we have to find out who's the monster, what is the monster, what happened, who burned down the hostess bar, whatever. Spoilers. Well, that's literally the first scene in the movie.
Not really almost, but what we need to figure out either, to be fair.
No. But that was also like a little story thread, like, why was that really in there?
It was a
red herring.
A little bit, yeah, but it's also symbolic to like, this is where the fire started. This is where it started.
Yeah,
all the issues.
I guess. Shit, you're interpreting this. It's good. It's good.
And I haven't watched a single video about this because I tried to find some, and the only one I found started like misgendering people. I was like, this is not correctly translated.
Oh,
it's like they translated it from another language and it went wrong.
Okay.
It's like no, because they weren't ignorant. They were just. It sounded like mistranslations, basically. So I was like, no, I can't watch this. This because it was obviously titled "Ending Explained" as well. But I couldn't finish it. I think I saw 15 seconds.
Yeah. No, but I like and to compare a little bit, you mentioned Brokeback Mountain. There's definitely some comparison here.
Sure.
I'll get into that. But that movie is so straightforward, and it's all the characters. There's no like, they're not trying to like, ooh, it's a cool plot. No, it's just the characters. Yeah. So, and I think I like character driven. At least when it's stuff like this, when it's about people, I prefer it to be more character driven than plot driven. So that's why it loses a little bit for me. But like I said, still enjoy it. Probably will enjoy it more the second time I watch it. I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 5, but that might have been a like
overreaction. Like, oh my god,
right exactly, straight off the bat reaction.
And you're a little emotional, like, 5 out of 5. Yeah.
I think that might have been it. I'm trying to find, because I found one video that I started watching a little bit, but they talked more about another movie. And I can't remember what that movie was. They compared it to an American movie.
Oh, okay.
With similar story beats, apparently.
It's sort of similar. The plot is not the same, but the structure of the movie is similar to The Last Duel, which is based on a Japanese movie, but... They
used Close.
I haven't seen that. It's the one with Natalie Portman,
something.
Right? Or is that Closer? I don't know.
Close by Lucas Daunt, I think they said.
Close. From what? The one about the two boys? Oh, yeah!
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I wanted to watch that. It was another movie and never... Because, you don't really go see those kind of movies in the cinema. And then, oh shit, now I have time to watch it and it's gone from cinemas. Yeah, I wanted to watch this one.
Add it to your Letterboxd watch list, dude.
Probably will.
They started comparing it, like, straight away. They started talking about Close, so I got lost because I haven't seen that one. Maybe it's similar. I don't know. I wanted to see if you had seen it.
No, I haven't, but I do want to see it.
Like, the blurb, good. Sure, that makes kind of sense. An intense friendship between two 13-year-old boys suddenly gets disrupted, and they're trying to understand why. Yeah, sure. There's, I guess, a bit of similarity there.
Yeah. I would say that the middle part of this movie, now we were going to get into spoilers, but whatever.
Yes.
The middle part of the movie felt a lot like The Hunt with Mads Mikkelsen. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. No, I never watched it. That was on you and Mom went to see it, and then you had to like go back to see it again because it failed or something? Or I'm misremembering things, maybe.
No, it's an old movie. Well, yeah, at this point it is old. It's 10 years old. Well, no, it's 12 years old. I think...
Yeah.
I saw
it's that one.
Yeah, I saw it back then on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. Probably with Mom, I think, the first time.
Maybe, yeah, I might be confused.
But then we went last year, or the year before. No, last year must have been. We went and saw the stage adaptation of it.
Oh.
A Swedish stage adaptation of it. But it worked. We didn't have to go back or anything.
No, maybe I'm just meshing things up here.
Yeah. Which was also good. But yeah, because that one everyone knows. It's about a teacher who is accused of, diddling a child, a young girl, and how in this small community he lives.
Shattered.
Yeah, it's completely shattered his life. Yeah.
by an innocent little lie.
That is one of the best movies ever made.
I'm not entirely sure saying that a teacher touched you is an innocent little lie.
The way she says it, you have to watch the movie to understand why.
Okay, fine. It just sounds really wrong. To say that that's an innocent little lie. Like that the teacher like pulled his ear too hard and started bleeding a little bit. That feels like more of an innocent little lie, because that's something that isn't as violent in my opinion. Though I'm not entirely sure how you would pull an ear until it bleeds, though.
You just pull on it until the skin breaks. It's not hard.
Yeah. Sure, but like, Jesus Christ, there has to be a lot of force in that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Unless you have like piercings.
Yeah. No, because it's a lot of mistakes and things said that weren't true.
Small things being misinterpreted. I
guess
guess.
Misinterpreted.
Which is same with this one.
Yeah, the middle chapter.
The middle part.
The teacher chapter.
Yes.
That is a great movie, though. That you should put that on your watch list. It is super dark. I think I've only watched it twice.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared of watching it.
Yeah, it is pitch black.
Exactly.
Towards the end. It is disgusting how dark and vile that movie is.
Which is why I'm not even like wanting to watch it.
I know, but it's so good. And funny thing is, there's very minimal violence. There's no it is just the way
there's no physical and visual violence on screen.
No, none at all.
No.
Basically, none at all. I think there's like 2 punches.
Okay.
But it's just the way everything escalates, and how this wonderful community completely shatters, just breaks down. Everyone breaks down. It is disgusting, but it's also great. But you probably only watch it once.
Yeah,
and it's also the most vile of situations to be in, as an adult, but especially as a man.
Sure.
Oh my God!
No one's gonna believe you.
No
in that
one's
situation.
gonna believe you. Yeah. Oh my.
No matter, even if everything is afterwards proven to be wrong, and like you didn't do anything, it's still gonna be there.
Yeah. Well,
you were accused once.
Yeah.
That's enough to ruin your life.
Yeah. It is so
forever.
Good. Anyway,
but
that was a little review of The Hunt. That's gonna be a good clip for YouTube.
But yeah, we need to talk more about specifics.
We need to discuss plot details. Yes. So you gave it a 5. Maybe it's gonna be 4.5 at the end of the day. Yeah. I'll give it a strong 4.
You might convince me to pull it back.
Nah,
I can't really think of anything that I would
change,
discredit it for, or dislike it for, or anything.
No, then you know what? Then it is like a, but I would say it's
my
still
5 out of 5s are not as strong as your 5 out of 5s.
No,
to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, then it's a 5 out of 5 for you. So yeah. Rebecca says,
we know that mine are more emotional.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I say, check it out.
Oh yeah.
So from here on out, spoilers. Spoilers. If you don't want anything spoiled, especially since this is kind of a mystery movie. Don't listen. Don't watch. Just watch the movie and then come back. So you'll give us 2
Thing is though,
yeah,
we're gonna discuss this specifically, but do we really know what happened?
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. What do you mean?
Do we 100% really know what happened?
Not with everything.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What specifically?
The mystery. No, but the mystery of it all is a little bit like. Because we always see it from a certain person's perspective, so we don't know which one is the 100% true perspective or storyline. Small details from every single one of our storylines are true, obviously.
Yeah.
But some of them are distorted.
Elaborate.
Like specifically with the teacher.
Yeah.
And his behavior and what he does or don't do. We see it from what the mother assumes is that he has blatantly hit her child.
Yeah.
Pulled his ear.
Punched his nose.
Pushed him down the stairs.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We clearly see from the child's perspective, he doesn't do any of those. He does elbow him in the nose, but that's a mistake.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then we also see other teachers react to him when he starts talking to other children, like he has actually done something wrong. And that another child might report him.
What
Yuri says, the girl, when she showed him the cat.
Yeah.
Afterwards, he's like, I think it's, I don't remember exactly when it's the same day that the Minato falls down the stairs. I don't remember.
No, that's...
but he like goes up to 3 girls and he's like, tell them what you told me about the cat. And,
yeah. Well, she does say, I saw Minato play with it or touch it or whatever.
Yeah, but then when she says it, when he asks her, she's like, no, that's not what I said. And the other teacher like pushes him against the wall.
Yeah, because he's not supposed to be there and he's touching a girl. So.
Yes. Maybe there are other things that should have been more detailed in certain areas. Like, I'm not entirely sure that maybe he did do something bad. Maybe, because I still don't know about the ear. That's the one detail.
Yeah, they don't really
understand.
I mean, that's when they start fighting over the paint rag.
Yeah,
after
all of a sudden
that
his
he
ear
has
is...
yeah. But you don't see the teacher, what's his name? Hori.
Hori, yeah.
That's annoying. One of the kids is Yori, the teacher is Hori.
Hori. But they call Yori something else. They call him his last name, and it's not listed.
Oh, shit. Yeah. They keep calling him...
It's a long something H.
And they mumble it like Japanese people do.
Yeah, it did not match the spelling, in my opinion, because I don't understand Japanese at all.
Yeah.
You might have heard it properly and understood it that way.
They're saying his last name and then Kun afterwards? No, not Kun.
I think so, or something.
It's not San. It's not Chan.
It's
one of those
a suffix of some sort.
Yeah, for friend, I guess. Either way, yeah.
So I'm maybe there are moments where the teacher maybe has reacted more than he should have, or stronger than he should have.
But we don't see that.
No, we should have seen that from the child's perspective. Then, so
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not entirely sure. Either way,
it's just the way he is portrayed because of that. Also, a little bit contrived. How there's this rumor of him going to a hostess bar.
Yeah. Taking a hostess home.
Yeah, because the very first mention of that is when he is walking home from somewhere with his girlfriend, I assume.
Yeah.
And they see the fire, which we know is a hostess bar. We find out it's a hostess bar that's burning.
Yeah.
How could he have been at the hostess bar if it's burning? Or is
the
that
rumor
is
that
the before that?
Yes, because we do hear it slightly before that when we see it from the mother's perspective, and she's working at the I think it's a laundromat of some sort, or dry cleaners. And one of her neighbors or a mother to another child at school mentions like, "Oh, did you hear that they saw him leave with one of the hostesses?"
Is that before the fire?
That is after the fire.
Yeah. But the kids...
But that's before we see the kids saying it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The earliest point in the story, from all perspectives, is when he stops to watch the fire and some kids from his class or school, whatever, runs past him and says, teacher brings home a hostess girl. Where did he get that from?
It sounds like the girl that he's walking with is a hostess that he has obviously started a relationship.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
That's how I heard it, so to speak. Because the way she I don't know. She doesn't seem like someone who would date a teacher otherwise.
Maybe he's super charming. I don't know.
But she says he has weird hobbies, like sending in letters about misspellings and stuff to magazines.
Love works
which sounds like something a hostess would do. Kind of like, oh, but you're so quirky. I like you either way. Uncomfortable laughter kind of thing.
But then they actually have...
Because you know what hostess do.
Yeah, right? I know. Well, no, yeah, they talk to you. They don't do anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
But they have an actual relationship.
They hype you up.
Yeah. But why would she then actually enter a relationship with him?
maybe she did fall in love with him, or maybe he
You see, that's what we need a
buys
little
her
bit
enough
more there
stuff
for them
that
to
they
just
do a little.
for them to
side
just
business?
assume that he goes to hostess bars.
Yeah, I know. It's also just to build up him having like bad character, I guess.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, that's a detail missing. If you're gonna build his entire reputation on a rumor that is completely unsubstantiated, even in what we see in the movie.
Yeah.
It annoyed me.
It only plays part in the mother's perspective, in my opinion, because no one else seems to care. It's just like he doesn't even care about it. It's just adding on to the mother's view of him, really.
Sure.
Which, after watching the movie, is obviously a skewed interpretation of him.
Yeah.
She has very
like him
fixed.
from the beginning.
Yeah, because she hears one thing and then assumes her son was beaten by him or hit by him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small detail, in my opinion, which doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Anyway.
It is strange that they mention it, though. Like, it doesn't really play a part anywhere except for the one time the mother accuses him of it.
Yeah. That was one detail I didn't that like brought it down for me a little bit.
You.
Yeah, irked me. But then it wasn't like specific details. It was just the way that the movie was told, like the same story was told from two perspectives, but it didn't really seem to line up timeline wise, really.
No, it doesn't.
Because they start at slightly different points, and a lot of the kids' chapter, the kids' point of view, feels like it starts way before?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Because the fire, as far as I understand, the fire of the hostess bar isn't until like it's about halfway through the kid's point of view, I guess.
Yeah,
not really halfway, but
sort of.
Because it's before the shoe. The when he shares the shoes.
Yeah.
With his friend, because he all of a sudden don't have shoes.
Yeah. Also, I guess someone took him because they bullied him.
Yeah, he's being bullied, obviously.
That's also a detail. I don't know if that's like a Japanese thing. A lot of people don't put their shoes on properly. They just trample down the heel of the shoe.
I'm guessing it has to do with them all. Like, you take them out, you take them off when you get anywhere. Like, you take them off when you get to school, you take them off when you get home. Why would you put them on properly?
It felt like they were pointing it out. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just a cultural thing maybe or something.
Yeah.
But I was gonna look up to see if I can see exactly when. Because was the fire really that late?
Well, in the first scenario, it's straight up.
It's almost in the beginning,
is also
right? Yeah,
straight up. Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of symbolic for this is where shit goes down. This is where it starts.
No, look at it. No, I knew it. The fire is right at the beginning of the third chapter. The third chapter starts with the head mistress, whatever you call it, visiting her husband in jail, who took the fall for her allegedly killing her granddaughter.
Yeah, or was the one who backed over her.
That
we
whole
don't know.
thing, yeah. So
Very unnecessary, to be honest.
Yeah, we start with that, and then she's standing at the bridge, and Yori runs past her, and he drops the lighter, and she's like, "Oh, wait a minute! Oh, thank you," and then continues running
away.
So it's right at the beginning of this plot as well.
Huh.
And they don't really become friends until after that. Which, yeah.
Well, I'm assuming they already were friends.
Yeah, they are though, a little bit of friend.
In the
they
music
mentioned
room.
that in the when they're putting back the tamburina. Tamburina.
And share the snacks. He's like, it's not contagious.
Yeah.
That poor boy is so lost.
Yeah, that's also which one?
Yori.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's also they don't.
He seems younger for some reason.
Yeah, no, I think he's just a little bit more effeminate. No, I think he is a little young, but they're in the same class. Maybe it's the way we
perceive him.
Because you went to a You went to the same school as me. When you were in first grade, you had second and third graders in your class as well, right?
No, I don't think so.
It was only first graders?
Yeah.
Because when I went to elementary school,
we were all separated at least.
It was called an 1-3 class. Grades 1 through 3 was in the same class.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
We were separated into age groups.
I'm thinking maybe it's one of those situations.
It might be.
It
might also be that, for example, maybe Minato was held back a year or something. We don't know that. He does look small. Yori does look smaller than everyone else, though.
Yeah, exactly.
He might just be talented and he's upper grade, or he's just small.
He's just effeminate with supple lips, as they say. Let me laugh out loud. What kind of I mean, I get it. It's a haha, but who even has that insult ready to go? Haha, supple lips.
It's that's the thing, though. I think that's also a bit of a mistranslation, or not wrong, but it gets lost in translation. Their opinion on Yori, because I just thought he was little small and weird. But they bully him for being
gay.
Gay probably. Yeah. Or feminine, I guess.
Yeah, feminine, because they're
having feminine tendencies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, why do you hang out with the girls? They say.
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, they don't outright say that he's gay.
No.
He might not be, but there are definitely signs.
Yes, and the father is really making me think.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's afraid of his son being gay.
He's a monster. He has a pig brain.
Yeah, it's that's why you think that's why you don't like girls, because you have a pig brain.
Yeah. Such a weird thing to say.
Yori never says that he doesn't like girls.
No. Well,
not out loud.
No, but he does say that he likes a girl and then say, I lied.
Sure. But he might be speaking about that specific girl.
Sure. I think what little research I've done, it said here, no. Here. No? Where are we at? Here. Hirokazu Kore-eda, the director, revealed that writer Yuji Sakamoto wrote the story of Monster from his own experiences. Sakamoto had a friend at school with whom he couldn't communicate his feelings, much like in the film, and he always carried that with him.
Yeah, because we do have that one scene when they're in their little hideout.
Yeah.
Where Minato seems to have a bodily reaction.
Yeah.
And Yori goes, it's fine, I have that too sometimes.
Yeah.
But how old are
they? Wait, what reaction?
We don't see anything. He just has a weird reaction and gets up and don't want Yori to touch him anymore.
That's because he's about to kiss him, it looks like.
Yeah, but Minato is about to kiss Yori, and then Yori hugs him, and then Minato goes, no, and backs up.
Yeah.
He's like, it's okay, I react that way too sometimes.
Yeah, which is also are they a little young?
That's what I'm asking. How old are they supposed to be?
But I guess, no,
they're
maybe...
4th or 5th grade, I think they say.
Okay, no.
I don't know how old you are when you're in 4th and 5th in
You're
Japan?
I don't know. 10, 11, 12, we would have been. Yeah, no, I had...
reactions,
emotions, feelings for girls in my class back then. Yeah, no, okay, sure. And it's a bit more confusing because it seems to be not normal to then have those feelings for another boy. Sure.
Yeah. But they're at the same time. It's just
here it says Hirokazu Kore-eda said that the LGBT themes in Monster were very much intended, as they were written directly into the plot right from the time that the script was written. So okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I think they're subtle enough.
Huh?
I think they're subtle enough to be, they don't feel like that's the main plot, though. Or the main moral, or whatever.
What do you mean?
The LGBTQ plus whatever tendencies. Good letters. I feel like they're, in my opinion, it's mainly just having, a friend you can't communicate with. A friend that is... different, that makes you different in a way that makes you uncertain of why, and if it's accepted to be friends with them.
Yeah, but children wouldn't really you wouldn't really have a problem admitting your feelings unless it was feelings you weren't sure you were supposed to have. Which being friends with someone, even if they're bullied,
Nah, that's not true. If a kid is bullied, you're a bit afraid of being their friend in front of the cool kids because then you're gonna get bullied too.
But then there is the scene in the train cart.
Sure, but that's private. So,
yeah.
And that's when it gets confusing for him, for Minato specifically.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought it was a good scene as well, to be honest. I think it's...
Yes, it was good. I was glad they didn't actually go all the way, because they're a little too young for that, I think.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is erasing gay stories or whatever, but I think it works better and definitely can hit a wider audience if it is more if it is a broader theme of just confusion in general, not about sexual orientation.
Yeah, no, it's about finding yourself. It's about understanding what adults are telling you, really.
Yeah.
Interpreting that and seeing how you fit into all of that, because you have this very strict and mixed conversation between Yori and his father, which we don't see, but we know is happening.
Yeah,
his father is abusing him.
Yeah, there was the scene where as the storm starts, Minato is going over to Yori, climbs in through the window and finds him in the bath. Like groggy.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't know exactly why, but when he pulls him out of the bathtub, he has marks on his hips. Mm-hmm. My mind immediately went to, oh no, the dad has abused him. I mean, held on, grabbed the haunches.
I didn't assume that. Okay. I just thought it was like he hit him or something, or like pushed him.
It looked like, not like hitting, it looked more like finger marks.
Grabbing?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
I don't know what they were conveying with that. That would be weird.
Either way, the father is an asshole who hurts his son and tells him he has a pig brain because he's not normal.
Yeah, take him out of school. He's going to be homeschooled by his grandma. It's probably even worse.
Yeah.
And says that,
he's a drunk who leaves his kid home alone during his, I was about to call it tsunami, that's not the word. Monsoon,
yeah. Just the fact
which is also, and they didn't board anything up, which Minato and his mother did.
Yeah. Cardboard. That is to stop the glass, though. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's not really supposed to stop the weather.
No. It's just in case,
Yeah.
And we do see him later on being out in the weather, getting more beer, basically.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, he's the guy who falls over.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you just filmed a random, hobo, because it looked like he had plastic bags on his feet. Oh, okay. I did not connect that.
He's such an alcoholic that he has to go out and get more beer in that weather.
Okay.
After he beat up his son and left him in the bathtub.
Okay. But then we have...
But then we have Minato and his mother, Saori, who have a very loving and open relationship.
Yeah.
And like she mentions, he wrote an essay or something, or a thing he read out in class at one point where he wanted to be a single mother when he grows up.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wants to be able to help his mom.
Yeah.
Because he knows that when dad died, even if he was young when it happened, it was hard on her, and he wants to help her. And
very gay.
They have a really nice, loving relationship, it seems.
There is at one point, though, which they kind of hammer home more the second time you see that scene. When she's out looking for him the first time in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And she says, I promised your father I would hang on to you until you were married and had your own family. Almost as if I'm ready to give up on you, but I did promise your father.
It didn't say to you, it said I would hang on, just she can't give up. She can't lose herself to grief because she has a son to take care of. Okay. But once he's grown up and okay and all that, she's allowed to grieve properly. Yeah.
Okay, Jesus.
It's a little bit, it might, again, be a little bit of a mistranslation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like that whole, okay, yeah, you can't kill yourself until he is grown up and he's fine. You have to take care of him for that long at least.
Yeah.
You need to promise me that before I die, kind of thing. But she doesn't seem suicidal at all.
No, and
so
she doesn't seem to like
off.
She doesn't seem to be like agitated or annoyed by him at all. But that one line is
she
like,
loves
him.
him.
What do you say that for?
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just it sounded kind of like an inside joke, but it's also a very strange inside joke then.
Yeah.
I don't even what did the father die of?
Well, he died of the Hollywood disease that usually kills wives, but here it killed the husband.
Yeah.
He's just
But
dead.
was it a sickness? It wasn't an accident or something? Because they talk about him playing rugby, and I was like, oh, did he break his neck on the field?
No, I think he just...
What happened to him?
Wait, didn't he...
Because...
Didn't he die... Don't imagine he died on a trip with another woman?
Yeah, Minato says that.
Yeah. When they're in the forest.
Was he cheating? Or did he get sick on that trip? Because the mother's reaction, and I guess maybe that's the thing in Japan, but in an American movie, if a child shows weird tendencies, the first thing you do is not give them a CT scan.
Well, that's because he jumped out of a car.
Sure.
He could have had brain injuries.
I guess.
From jumping out of a car.
But it felt very okay, we're going to check everything straight away because that is a weird reaction. So we need to see if something's wrong with your brain.
Oh, no, I think it was just because he jumped out of a car. He could have hit his head.
Cool, fine. Okay, yeah. Sure.
He obviously hurt his knee,
sense.
so, we'll check the brain as well. But the whole thing, that's also a little detail they don't at all, go into. So the dad cheated on the mother?
Maybe? But
Why
the
was
mother
that in
doesn't
there?
seem to be upset about that either. She's not upset at all in general when it comes to anything other than what happened at school.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Why was that in there?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's what Minato says. So maybe he's just saying something that he overheard and misread or something. It's still, why would you even mention it then?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, and then the last little question I have. Why does it end the way it does?
What do you think the ending means?
That
full on spoiler. What's the ending for you?
That they got out. I saw it very literally. They got out of the train cart and they were fine.
No.
Do you think they died?
Yeah. That's why she reacts the way she does when he looks down the window. And then they cut to them crawling out, and all of a sudden there's sunshine, and the gate is no longer there, and they can keep running down the tracks.
Oh,
they're in heaven, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They died.
But we don't see them dead when she screams at them.
No, because they don't want to show us the dead bodies. But they don't show us them rescuing them either.
No, yeah, no. Okay. Well, there you have.
You don't
also
see them reunite or anything.
That's also
I saw it as they died.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking all of a sudden, yeah, it's very sunny, and they're just gonna not show them go back to their parents. I had that in the back of my head. But that's also a big problem with having the same story told 3 times. It's very unimpactful, I think. For me, it was at least.
We do
the
see
2 children die, and but at least now they're free to be with each other. Come on.
We see.
Is it a happy ending?
No.
Well, why does it play out like a happy ending?
Because they're oblivious. They're dead. They don't
Yeah,
know
they're
that
dead, so they shouldn't be running around.
But they don't know that they're dead. You don't know when you're dead. You're just dead.
Yeah, I know. But so we see that all of a sudden the movie changes perspective, and we see them in heaven.
Yeah, because we see Saori and Hori arrive at the train cart in one of their perspectives, right?
Yeah, in the teacher's story.
Yeah, and then we cut back and we see the entire thing through Minato.
What
was his name? Minato's perspective.
Yeah.
And that's when we see them eventually climb out of the cart.
Yeah.
In the end, and it's sunshine and butterflies and shit. So it's supposed to be maybe in the end of the children's perspective we see them get saved, but instead we see them climb out and okay, so what she actually reacted to was their dead bodies.
Okay.
Unless there is that's how I see it.
You know what? I'm sure that is the way it is. I just think that's a very unsatisfactory ending then. Because that is like...
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's like, oh, it's super sad that they died, but we're going to show them be happy. Even though... No! Make it super sad then!
I mean, it reminded me of an Astrid Lindgren
Oh.
story. What?
Bröderna Lejonhjärta?
Yes!
Brothers Lionheart?
Not me and me. Yeah, brother Lionheart. Brothers Lionheart. They also, like, are obliviously happy being in, like, the third death country, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, death realm.
Yeah.
Because in that
Second.
world, you have, like, different layers of death,
Yeah.
I guess. It's
that's...
strange. It's hard to describe.
That's to soften the blow, because that's a kid's story. They're like...
Yeah, but that's why the third part is the kid's story. It's from their perspective.
Okay. I thought it was a cop-out.
I thought it was beautiful.
It should have just... Because they do cut... When they're standing in the driver's seat of the train cart, and they say, "Do you think it's gonna go now?" And then you just hear the sound build up, and then it cuts. Should have ended there, not show them like, "Oh no, we survived." And they're like, "Oh, they did what?" And then, "Oh, it's sunny and it's a rug pull. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I thought, and that sucks when the ending really hurts the movie. For me, it did.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's like any trivia that explains what actually is the ending, but it doesn't seem to be. Maybe it's up for interpretation then.
But
either way, but it feels weird. If they were to survive, you should have seen the mother and teacher pull the kid out,
exactly,
or at least see them be reunited at home or something.
Yeah,
and it's very telling when that gate that they longingly gaze through to see if they can keep running is all of a sudden gone.
That's true.
Like the fence and everything is just missing. It's just an open road now.
Yeah.
You can
keep
running forever.
Yeah.
I thought that was beautiful. How they felt imprisoned by that gate when they were there the first time. And now they're free to keep running.
Yeah. These two 12-year-old boys who are now dead in a ditch are also free.
Yes. Because that's unfortunately how some people in the gay community feel. That the only way they can truly be free is to die.
Yeah, we discussed that in our Broken Mountain episode.
Yeah.
Problem is, these are children.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bit dark when it comes to children.
Do not kill children.
They shouldn't, first of all, have to feel that way. So they can be free
in death. Like, come on.
They shouldn't understand that that's something they need to feel.
Exactly.
But the way that Yori's dad has treated him.
Yeah, but then
this is obviously.
Then they should have. If you're gonna go that route, then fucking show it. Show him bleeding out in the bathtub or something. Not this fucking sunshine and flower ending. No, fucking go super dark then instead. Do the Brokeback Mountain thing. He didn't want
to go dark. He wanted it to be like a little bit sweet and romantic maybe at the end because it is about children. You don't want it to be too dark.
Well, then they shouldn't die. It's a catch-22.
I thought it was beautiful.
All right.
I thought it worked perfectly fine.
Didn't work for me. Now it's a 2 out of 5.
There was one like the only I think negative about this movie is that it is a little bit long. Yeah, in my opinion.
Remove some of the details we don't need.
Especially since we have details we don't need. We have a bit of a repetition because we see certain moments from multiple perspectives. Luckily, we don't see a lot of them.
No, yeah, they try to minimize that, which is good.
Yeah. There's one moment that is shown twice, which didn't really lead anywhere in my opinion.
Which?
It's a small detail. It's the one with the cat. Because the first time we see that moment, we don't know if there's a cat involved. We just see the mother noticing that he is being dragged by a female student behind the school. The teacher is being dragged by a female student,
which I did not catch in the first story.
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
And her being so worried, like the look on her face is like, what the hell is he doing to that student?
Yeah.
Because she has
preconceived notions.
Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. And then we see that thing again from his perspective, being dragged by the student to see something weird that she claims Minato had something to do with.
Yeah.
And the only time it comes back to play is when he asks her about it later on. Like, can you tell people what you told me?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it turns out they were just burying a cat.
Yeah, because he says that, like, we don't hear her say this, but he says that she told him that Minato killed the cat. She never says that in the scene we see.
No.
She just says that Minato was sitting there, like, playing with it or something.
Yeah,
and then we see that...
That's him exaggerating. Like, no, tell him what you told me. Tell him Minato killed the cat because he's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has strange tendencies. I mean, he did freak out and start throwing things around the classroom for no apparent reason.
No.
The teacher missed the part where all the other children were bullying first Yori and then Minato for not reacting properly, apparently.
No, when he freaks out the first time, that's just to make them stop bullying Yori, though. They're not bullying him.
Oh, right. No. Yeah, I'm mixing up the paint with that.
Which also, what a weird reaction to start fucking up the rest of the classroom.
He didn't know what else to do without, like...
He could have said, stop it.
No, but then they would have ganged up on him. Like, oh, you're protecting him, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is just him, like, making a big scene so they'll look at him instead, kind of.
Very convenient. And then the teacher only sees that.
Yes.
There's those little convenient things I don't like. I don't know what this is convenient. There's a milking a cat.
Ew. The cat's dead. Stop.
No, it was meet the parents. I got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
No, but I mean that's what happens though. Like the teacher never sees the full bully.
No, I know.
They always miss that part because the kids have a lookout or they're like, you know exactly when to stop.
Yeah. There was one other thing, but I think I forgot it. Oh yeah. So in the mom story, we think that the monster is the teacher.
Yes.
In the teacher story, we think that Minato is the monster. And in Minato's story, they kind of like show like, oh no wait, all these dark moments in the movie, like him picking up the cat or him freaking out, them fighting, all is just really only like innocent mistakes. Nothing really other than bullying, but kids are always going to bully each other. Other than that, nothing dark and sinister is really going on. They're just really good friends, even though it seems like from the teacher's perspective, Minato is like a monster trying to murder Yori, which is weird.
Yeah.
But then there's the hint, like I said, very, very in the very beginning of the kid's story, which is then kind of reinforced when they're burning the cat, that Yori burned down the hostess bar?
Hostess bar? Yeah.
Did he actually do that?
He doesn't deny it.
Yeah.
When asked.
So, isn't that first of all, how can he burn down a hostess bar? Like, he's what is he, 10? How does he know to start a fire?
How did he get in there?
How did he get in there? How does he...
Starting a fire is not that hard. Just put the lighter to a curtain and you're good.
Yeah.
But how did he get in there to do that?
And we don't know. We do see the firefighters move some scantily clad women away. But did he then also like murder a bunch of people in there?
If not everyone got out, then yeah. Inactively, he did.
Which they never bring up, that detail.
I mean...
I would say if that is the case,
I think they
we
say,
have
I
a
hope
definite
everyone
monster.
Get out. Oh yeah, no, he is. But that's the thing though. He thinks that he is the monster as well because he thinks he's got a pig brain.
Yeah.
But from Minato's point of view, it's the father who's the monster, making him think that he is wrong and weird.
Yeah.
So everyone is a monster in this story a little bit.
Yeah.
Because mom is also a bit of a monster. For reacting the way she does and demanding the things she does.
She becomes very, a bit of
very overprotective.
Yeah.
And kind of rude. Because even
starts basically making up things about the teacher.
Yeah, and she's being rude towards the principal even after she finds out that she has obviously lost her grandchild, which is very difficult. She even compares her own situation to that, which is not really the same. But hey, the principal is also a bit of a monster because she uses the fact that her grandchild died to try and elicit like sympathy from the mother and to try like
problem she's having.
Yeah, like calm her down. Like, oh, but look, I lost my grandchild. Maybe you should be nice to me and just smooth this over instead. Yeah. So they're all monsters in a way. The other teachers were covering up for everything literally.
Yeah, there is a
they're trying not to get Mr. Hori to speak. They're trying to like trying to like please the mother just because, and they're just so weird.
There is a trivia here that says Kore-eda said that all the characters in the film, to some degree, are imprisoned by invisible walls. The mother is restricted by social norms, and the teacher is restricted by his manhood, as well as the school system. And the children are living in this world that the adults have created, and they are affected by it. In terms of the violence that is perpetrated upon them, yet they are able to escape it. It's as if the adults have been left behind and the children have gone ahead and come to their own self-realization. I want it to be a positive realization. Realizing what? That you're dead? What's the positive part?
Or you're happy and gay? I don't know. That part I don't understand. Yeah. But yeah, they're all imprisoned by certain things. Because she gets judged, mom...
gets judged for being a single mother, yeah.
Saudi, gets judged for being a single mother, and they're always overprotective. A male teacher abusing children is obviously going to be judged because he's a male teacher. It's worse that way. Even though there are plenty of stories of female teachers abusing children, which end up being so wrong and so weird. Female teachers having children with their students.
Yeah, ugh, that's a whole other discussion.
Sure, but
the difference between male and female teachers abusing children and why one is almost accepted and the other isn't,
or at least less scrutinized, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, May December.
Yeah, so he's, for example, we didn't do a video on that one.
We talked about it.
We did talk about it in the Patreon episode, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. And I don't know if the the drunken dad has any walls, but he's not really a character. He's just an obstacle.
Yeah. He's not really a character. Yeah.
No. He's just a bad thing.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, this is flawed, but I would say that it's a flawed.
It's not a perfect movie.
No, far from it.
No.
It's a
very few movies are
masterpiece.
perfect, like we've said before.
Yeah,
so.
but I don't know.
I think it's clear enough what happened. Sure, like how the fuck did he set fire to the bar is a bit vague, and we should. But do we care? Does that really matter?
Are they? But isn't that really painting the LGBT community in a bad light? That they're arsonists, insane arsonists.
No,
I'm saying.
Because not everyone
doesn't care about
arsonist.
No.
He's too young. He's too young to understand what happens when you set fire to a building.
That is the thing, though. If a movie has like a gay villain, that is like, oh, this movie is misrepresenting the LGBTQ community.
Oh, I know, like, that's a whole discussion.
You can't portray any queer character in a bad light because then you're misrepresenting, or you're showing the whole community. Yeah. Like it's all for one for all when it comes to gay characters.
Yes, and it depends on the intention behind it, though. Sometimes it seems that way specifically, but because the creator or the writer has bad intentions behind it, has made bad comments before or after releasing that piece of film or book, in one case. J.K. Rowling did a thing,
What? Oh, yeah.
No, you know what happened, right?
Yeah, the empty chair book.
Whatever it's called. Yeah.
It's a transvestite killer.
Yeah, because dressing as a woman makes it easier to come closer to women to kill them.
Yeah.
But then also coming out and saying, like, yeah, trans people are weird. Come on.
Now that's a whole other discussion.
Yes, but, like, if you have bad intentions behind it, sure. In this case, I don't think director or writer had bad intentions with making Yori
so then it's okay
an
to make
arsonist.
the gay guy an arsonist. Yeah.
He's like I said, he's too young to understand the consequences of his actions in that case. He just wanted to hurt his dad in a way that he has hurt him. Because the burn on his arm, which for a moment when the mom sees it, I was worried that it was Minato who had done it to him because she finds the lighter.
Yeah.
But now I'm guessing it's, after I've seen the movie, I'm thinking, oh, the father did that and that's why he took the lighter because that's the lighter he burned him with.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to burn him too. And instead set fire to an entire building.
Yeah.
Which is a bit extreme.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's a kid.
I know. And we should really
fully understand what happened.
We should really wrap this up.
Sure.
But you mentioned J.K. Rowling, and I just...
No, we're not bringing that back up.
I know.
I'm just saying, when you have bad intentions, I understand why the discourse becomes the way it becomes.
Yeah.
When you talk about that online, I don't think all representations in media are that way. Everyone can be a bad person in every story if you don't write it as if, oh, but everyone with that sexuality or whatever you want to call it is that way. Because they don't point it out that, oh, because he's gay, that's why he burned it down. No, he's not using his gayness to excuse it. So
then it's
fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Anyway, yeah. We'll wrap it up there.
I still think it's a beautiful movie.
Yeah. I thought it was a good movie.
It's an interesting story. It's an interesting way of looking at it. At looking at something that seems so insignificant and small from certain perspectives can be such a big thing from other people's perspective.
Yeah.
But then also coupled with the few times we had really real music in it, beautiful music. A lot of the visuals were actually really pretty, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that it's in Japan and we get the cherry trees and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really pretty. Then also just their friendship, even though it in school is a touchy subject, but when they're like alone in their own world, they're so happy, and it was just so pretty.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I'm not changing. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. The small details aren't bothering me. I felt like I understood the movie, despite the linguistic barrier.
Sure. Oh, it's kind of funny. A YouTuber, Carson Runquist, who does movie reviews and stuff, his Letterboxd review here gave 4 out of 5, and I was like, yeah, point out like the best line in the movie. Our poop will go back in our butts. This is an actual line in this movie. And then he writes under that, best screenplay winner at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, which I guess it was.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Despite that line.
Well, it makes sense in context, but yeah, just that line is very funny. Our poop.
Hey, it was the winner of Best Film at the Stockholm Film Festival.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I think that's the case. It's a little bit of, well, we got to give it to the gay movie case. I'm just saying.
Yeah, maybe, and couple that with it being not Swedish.
Yeah. Well, Stockholm Film Festival is usually
highlighting Asian creators
more than Swedish movies.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
But I'm just saying, it's a little bit of that. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's a little bit of that. But anyway, that's gonna have to be it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and follow and like and upvote and leave your comments either below the video or on our social media, which there's a link to, of course. What do you think of Monster if you watched it? Also, check out patreon.com/don'tmakeascene if you want some more episodes. Literally hundreds more episodes of stuff released every week. But yeah, next week it's Dune time.
No.
Yes.
Because we're one more in between.
We're recording this way in advance, Rebecca.
Oh right.
Yeah, so we're recording this on the 12th. This is not coming out until the 17th.
Sorry.
So, well, yeah, technically we don't have anything for the 24th because we're watching Dune on the 26th.
Yeah, so the free episode will be a couple of days late.
Yeah. Or if we release, maybe we'll do some, I don't know, a hype episode for Dune or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll revisit Dune Part 1 or something.
But the next proper episode will
Dune
be
Part 2.
Dune
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes.
That's true.
So check it out for that. And check out our commentary track from a couple of years ago for the 1984 David Lynch Dune. Very, very good.
That's all.
It's on patreon.com/DonMakeAScene. But that's it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next week. But until then, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/Don'tMakeAScene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Danny Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, CK85.